welcome to the Well-Rounded Warrior, and thanks for watching. If you've been following along with our 4L80E saga, you've seen the disassembly of the transmission into its major components, and today we are going to show you the disassembly of the components themselves, like drums, clutches, planetaries, and such. So let's get to it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and disassemble a couple pieces of the valve body. We're not going to get into the spool valves because, again, that's something that we're going to get into when we rebuild the transmission, when it all goes back together. I do that right before so I can take it apart, clean it in the solvent tank, and then put it right back together. So this are the accumulators, so we'll go ahead and zip those out, 8mm. And we'll go ahead and make a mess here, because that seems like the cool thing to do. Go ahead, pull these out. You'll notice that you have one high, this is a different height, right? You can't really tell, depth perception not great with video. So know that this one sits lower in the bore than this one. So you have two different springs, right? You have a long one, and you have a short one. So when you go to put this thing back together, or when you're taking it apart, pay attention to how you take it apart. The long one is going to go here, short one going to go here, because this one sits deeper and this one doesn't. So just make sure you note that when you take it apart. All right, now these are always a pain in the ass to get apart. So what do? Well, for this bore, you have an air hole that you can blow air through right there to force the piston out. And so that's what we'll do. Take our blower, take a rag, blow air into here, and it will pop that piston right out. If it doesn't get it out far enough, try again. There you go. This will allow you to inspect the piston for any cracks, because it is plastic, or any tears in the seals. These, this looks good. All right, so this one is a little trickier. This has a feed hole right here, and so you have to blow air into there to get this piston out. Not too hard, but wish it was a little easier. So stick your nozzle in here. Cover it with a rag. Try and get it in the right spot. And you heard it come out. Okay. Slide it right out. Looks to be in pretty good condition. No tears or anything on the seals, not cracked. Shaft looks good, not otherwise messed up. This looks to be in pretty good shape. So we'll go ahead and set this over here. We will then get to the valve body itself. All right, so first thing, pull the separator plate off. I try to pull them off all in one piece because it just limits gasket scraping on the back end, but I think this one is going to fight us. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. So this goes back to assembly. When you assemble a transmission, whenever you assemble anything with paper gaskets, in my opinion, I always soak paper gaskets in transmission fluid so they don't do this when you take them apart. Because what's happening right now is because it went together dry, the gasket is stuck to the aluminum, and it only stuck in one spot on this one. I've seen them a lot worse than that. That's not too bad. We'll take our valve body here, drain the fluid out of it. And that's really as far as we're gonna get into that right now. We're gonna go ahead and set this back in the pan. Here's where we take our separator plate. Peel the gasket off it the best that we can. I don't want to get really in depth here because I only want to check a couple things. Also, the reason I'm not too careful with this gasket, a lot of times folks need that gasket to try and match up, but the kits that we have from Transtar have a universal gasket, so it does not matter. And also, these are late model transmissions, so this is a late model separator plate. Now, the couple things that I'm looking for is I'm looking for any place that any of the check balls have beaten up the separator plate. You won't see it on this side unless it's really bad, but you do see it right here. Again, not bad. I'll probably be able to stone that out, but it is something to be conscious of. Looks like that's about the only one that looks like that. But like I said, you can see on these two holes right here how the check ball has beaten up the separator plate. It gets a whole lot worse than this on 700 R4s and 4L60Es. Here's another place. It's not too bad though. You can just see. Yeah, on 4L60Es and 700 R4s, on those transmissions, check balls can literally get stuck in the separator plate. I have not seen that on these. I would imagine you could probably do the same. We'll just go ahead and take this and set it back in the transmission pan.